Hi, my name is Sue Carr, and tonight we're going to learn the herringbone wire wrap link. The required materials and tools are going to be flat nose pliers, chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, and flush cutters. You'll need a Sharpie pen and a jewelry cloth. The wire that we're going to use for the link is going to be 22 gauge for the core wire wrap and 26 gauge for the herringbone wraps. That's going to give you wraps that look like this, which are a very delicate wrap. You can also change the sizes of your wires to make a more earthy look, which would be something like this. See how the wire is thicker? It just depends on what you're trying to achieve. So I also have a 10mm bead. My wire length for the 22 gauge is 4.5 inches, and I'm using 12 inches of the 26 gauge. What I tend to do is I have a notebook, and whenever I'm starting a new component, I will start with a nominal length of wire, write it down in my book, and then make the component. I'll see how much wire I have left over, and that way I can adjust in my notebook. Oh, it only took 10 inches instead of 12 inches. Then the next time I make that component, I've already got it written down and I know how much wire to cut, which becomes very important if you're using sterling silver or gold filled. I'm going to take my flat nose pliers first. I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to just hold it in the center of the wire, kind of eyeball it. And I take my flat nose pliers, sit it on top of my bead. I can let the bead drop and bend over my pliers 90 degrees. Then I'm going to take my Sharpie marker and I'm going to mark right on the other side of my pliers onto the wire. That's going to tell me where to stop my wraps. So now I'm going to use my round nose pliers and make a wrapped loop. I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way down the jaw of my plier and about 1/8 of an inch from the bend. The reason I go 1/3 of the way down my pliers is that I use that as a measurement. If I always go 1/3 of the way down, then my loops from side to side will be the same. I'm going to kind of push down as I roll towards me. Now I can only roll halfway before my wrist stops, which is fine because I'm trying to make a lollipop. The only way I can tell is if I look down the nose of my pliers. Now I bring my wire across and make any other adjustments. In this case I got to push this way a little bit, and there's my lollipop. I'm going to use flat nose pliers to hold on to my lollipop and chain nose pliers to start making my wraps. I'm going to grab my wire at the very tip and go halfway around. I'm going to stop, reposition my wrist, and come back again. I'm going to continue to do this and watch that my wraps go under right next to each other until I wrap all the way down to that mark that I made with my Sharpie. You want to keep repositioning your hand because if you kept just rolling, your wire would roll back on top of itself again. Okay. One more. There. Now I'm going to use my flush cutter to cut my wire. Put my thumb over it so that it doesn't shoot off. I'm not going to worry about tapping it down right now because I'm going to do the wrap on the other side, and then I'll have something to tap it against.